when I was crossing over to Palestine recently, I just returned a couple days ago, there was this common question that comes up. Well, specifically being in Beirut twice, in Amman 3 times, in Lebanon, well actually Lebanon's Beirut, Syria once or twice. You get used to the question, where from? Which happens here a lot. I'm used to that too. And then once they figure out that you're not from there, and you're like, Mexican, and they're like, whoa, tequila. And I was like, God, I get it over here too. You know, you're like, I just want to be me for once. Where are you from? Mark Gonzales, no hyphen. Imagine that. But what are you doing here? You know, always comes up. And entering into Palestine, and the IDF and the interrogations, and you know, the 3-4 hours, and you're like, okay, you know, you have to make your travel plans of like, okay, get there at noon, leave at 9 p.m. It's like your travel plan. Like here, like I was like, I got off the plane, it was like 20 minutes drive, go see Remy do a show. I was like, yeah, okay, Palestine land at 10, get to the border, Amman, Jordan, Husseini Bridge, get there by 12. Okay, I think I'll get entry by 7, and then we can take the car in for another 3 hours in a span of what's really like 5 miles. And just like how you have to plan your time. And the question the IDF always asks is, what are you doing here? And it's not a funny question. And it's a question the cops ask me too, here in the States. What are you doing here? And you know, I'm like, man, you know, I get it on every part of the globe. Where I'm born and where I'm not born, in my own continent. And the interesting thing is, it's the same question they ask Bangladeshis. You ask Eritreans and Ethiopians, you talk to Somalians, you talk to South Asians, Sri Lankans, what are you doing here? And there's just a really simple answer that really confuses them when you answer, what are you doing here? I've always been here. It's a reality for our people. We are being attacked by drums. We are global indigenous people, and we've always been here. Arizona.
Legalize it.
Legalize. I don't want to legalize Arizona, actually. I want to get rid of it. My family lived in Arizona in the 1920s. We fled Mexico when the war broke out in 1910 as indigenous people. Worked the mines of Arizona and New Mexico into the fields in the 30s, where my grandfather lost his brother building the railroads. We lost 2 aunts to pesticides from the cancer that caused. When Arizona popped off in last year, 2010, and people were like, oh my God, how is this happening in 2010? I'm like, this isn't new. We have always been here. So we have memories of what's always been done. And we also have memories of how we've always survived, and those tactics and strategies. But I wanted to share a poem with you as a reminder for people's faces of once again, of like, oh my God, even Mexico is a little too close here. About Arizona. And this poem was written right after SB 1070 came out. And it's simply titled Amerizona. 1910 it begins. War breaks out in the sands of Middle Americas. We pack tribal scriptures into rifles, for Bibles never offered bulletproof protection from the conquistadors' cannon or their cannon. Pontius Pilate lays a crown of thorn on unseen stars. My abuela witnessed our culture's crucifixion as she fled de Efe. In uprooted rhythm, her hands planted dual poems like dust to dust. Ashes to open palms, alms, ashes on Palm Sunday. Someday we will be safe again, born of earth cracked in desert skin. You, I, we are one, people of the sun. Is it any wonder that descendants of uprooted rhythm remix religion, less like DJ, more like spinning sound between azúcar y café con leche? My abuela was an original old school fashionista, guerrillera, cross-dressing weapons and wisdom across her chest. Sabes que? Madres no, motherhood is gymnastics, a balancing act of ancestry where our dreams are high beams that have to be landed 10-toe, perfect 10. Count down to 1, 8, 4, 8. Count up to 2, 1, 10. It's 1910 all over again. There is a strange fruit being planted as bodies swing from desert cactus. Catch us if you can, says Speedy Gonzales. They shoot racist epithets from the barrels of insolence, ignorance. Slowpoke Rodriguez is caught in the crossfire. Epitaph sung at his funeral, dust to dust. De calorias, ay Dios mío, ay Ave Maria. Cholos no llores, while La Llorona sheds monsoon on river banks for the children who will die in the desert. Guadalupe, Don Ancin. Names omitted from media broadcasts because the accent is too difficult to pronounce, because sound is too ashamed to hear adolescent names come out of deaf tongues. George Lopez tap dances in front of Disneyland. Sammy Davis whispers in his ear, this is what happened when Master grows bored with Puppy's entertainment. This is not an insult. Any artist will tell you this entertainment industry is fickle, blood, cut throat, dear God. Moses has not split the sea. The ocean dried up. In a drought of dreams, we are pickled crops inside Middle Passage vinegar bottles with no boat. We walk on the bottom shores of desert floors between the Pacific and the Atlantic. Arizona is Atlantis, asking for underwater identification cards. Our children stand on block corners imitating immigration like, yo, homie, where you from? Crip, blood, salva, trucha, meji, hispano, latino. Estamos en Dios, 2 words, in Dios, in God. Even Columbus in his arrogance recognized we are divine, beautiful people with angel eyes, baptized clay color before Christianity was even a concept. God, Mother Earth, God, Father, infinity. We destroyed churches and made the earth our place of worship. Gente, we build beds like altars for God. Is mother, father, arms intertwined. Last evening, love's limbs danced Aztec architecture in amber angels. Our tongues tasted tangents. Mujer dance Mayan blood. Sex body reset the clock. Once a month, moon cycle calendar. Our lips crack prayer. Oh my God. Our communion births our community. Creation begets creation, hatred begets racism. Tell Adam, Cain is calling Abel illegal. Eve is crying as a grandson. Jesus gets deported. Don Ancin weeps at her feet. Blackwater has bought paradise, employing original residents to trim the hedges. They are not allowed to stay. Amerizona, your apple pie was made of fruit plucked from Satan's branches. Iraq is echoed by First Nation who understand what it means to go from Garden of Eden to exile. This is not deportation. This is displacement to farms and factories. Maquiadores, ICE detention center of our 6th son. But we are living letter bombs, writing letters to Tucson. Somos tú y ellos son, the grandsons of clan sons singing Strange Fruit is a national anthem. Gente, we will show them the meaning of the word Phoenix. Woo!